Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to either front of house or on stage with, which we're named to be confirmed with Wetherby Musical Theatre Group.
Yeah.
This is our first kind of chat.
Yeah.
And it's because it's the Wetherby Musical Theatre Group's 50th birthday.
It's very exciting.
And started in 1975, and we're here in 2025, still going strong. And we thought it'd be a great opportunity to chat with existing members, former members, new members, whoever wants to have a chat with.
Yeah.
And you are our first willing,
Yes.
Oh,
always
volunteer guinea pig for this. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
And welcome.
Thank you very much.
Would you like to start by introducing yourself?
Yes, I am Catherine Hopkins. Most people call me Cath. And yeah, that's me. That's me.
That's you. Do you have any particular roles with the group, or?
So yeah, I'm on the committee. I'm a secretary. Yes, I'm secretary. I always want to say treasurer, and I'm not treasurer at all. Secretary of the committee, and have been for about 7 years now, I think, something like that. So yes, that's me.
Brill. I probably should introduce myself as well.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Who am I talking to?
Who are you talking to? Well, you're talking to Adam Stewart, who's the current chair of Wetherby Musical Theatre Group. There we go. We've covered that out. We've got this down, haven't we?
We know exactly what we're doing.
Exactly what we're talking about.
Exactly what we're doing.
So getting to know you a bit more.
Yeah.
So you're currently our secretary for the
Yep.
group. Do you have a preferred kind of like discipline in theatre? Because obviously you've got singing, dancing, acting. Do you have a preferred one?
I think I'd definitely say singing. Singing I've always sung from kind of a young age. And before I moved, I grew up in Wales. So before I moved to England, I did a lot of singing. And I'd never done anything particular. A couple of kind of school things. I'd never done anything on stage really. So I would say that's probably the thing I could do first before I started acting or trying to move a little bit.
And when did you try act and try to move a little bit?
Well, that was when I joined the theatre group. So I did. Actually, no, I joined the theatre group first because and then I did a couple of things at school, in Boston Spa. But that was all around about the same time. I think I joined the theatre group before I actually did any of the performances.
Yeah, interesting. And do you have a preferred type of show? There's all sorts of stuff that we do. I know we're currently called Wetherby Musical Theatre Group. But we do dabble in any and all things theatre, don't we? Yeah,
and I think because I've always sung, I think musicals is my preferred. I always like to do the things that involve music. And obviously I joined when it was just musical theatre group. We didn't do plays or anything at that time. And in fact, when we started doing plays, it was just something that I just didn't do them. I would wait till we were doing the musicals or the cabarets, because I always thought that I always wanted to be doing the music stuff. So musical is definitely my preferred genre.
And am I right in thinking that you did your first panto recently?
Well, it was my second panto.
Oh, okay.
We did, so there was a period of time where we were doing quite a few pantos, and I didn't. Again, that was something that I thought, no, I'm not. It's not my cup of tea. So I didn't really do them for quite a number of years. I'd just do. In fact, I didn't do much with the group for a few years, just because it did tend to be pantos that they were doing.
Right.
But then when my daughter was 11, 12, she wanted to be involved in panto, so I said, right, okay, well, I went and did that one. So that was Sleeping Beauty a few years ago, about 10 years ago now, about 8 years ago, and then obviously we did the last one, we did Jack and the Beanstalk. Well, not the Beanstalk.
No. It's a sequel.
The Magic Rope Ladder.
Absolutely.
Jack and, so I've done 2 pantos, so they would, again, I enjoy them when I'm doing them, but I still they wouldn't be kind of my first choice, I suppose.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah, no, and you're right, we didn't do plays as a group, did we? And because there was a Wetherby drama group.
Yeah.
I think it was 2015 we joined forces.
Sounds about right,
And then we started doing plays there as well, which is good because I think it mixes it up because different people like yourself, you just kind of said you're interested in different stuff, so it gives an option to
and it's, people do, as you say, enjoy doing different things. So and it is nice to, and it gives people an opportunity as well. If you've been doing a lot of, if there's been a lot of heavy musical sort of singing, learning, things like that, you don't feel like you've got to be involved necessarily with something with a smaller cast, but it also gives you the opportunity to do maybe something backstage or front of house and get involved in a different way, and that's always nice to do as well.
Yeah, so, absolutely, diversify.
Indeed.
Brilliant. Yeah. Okay, it's a big question.
Okay.
What's your favourite show ever?
So, it doesn't have to be one that we've done, does it? It's just my favourite. So I there's so many. I have seen a lot of musicals, and I've been in a lot of musicals. But I still think that my favourite and the one that I've seen most is Blood Brothers.
Oh, okay.
And there's just something about it that I just love the show. It's my ideal role to play. If I could play any part, it would be Mrs. Johnston in Blood Brothers.
Okay.
Although it is now closely followed by the mother in Everybody's Talking About Jamie. But it's, I suppose, a little bit similar. Her northern mother with quite an emotional kind of lots of emotional songs.
Yes.
But I'd say Blood Brothers is my favourite show.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Have we done Blood Brothers?
No, because it wasn't available for amateur production. I think it is now.
Yeah, I think it is now. Yeah.
But it wasn't for a long time because it's still on stage in the it's still in the West End. It tours every year.
Yeah.
So it's a very popular one. So I'm not sure if there's any restrictions as to what kind of group can perform if it's amateur. But yeah, for ages it just wasn't available because it didn't need to be because they were getting the revenue from all the professional stuff anyway.
Absolutely. So, well, maybe we add it to the list. What we can do in the future. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Before I get too old.
So you get to okay, we'll line up for next year, shall we?
Next
okay, right,
what are you saying?
Okay, so what's your favourite musical number? Is it from Blood Brothers or is it a different one?
That's it's a close one between Tell Me It's Not True and He's My Boy from Everybody's Talking About Jamie. Again, they are you could say they're quite similar because they're very big emotional sort of numbers. I suppose both dealing Tell Me It's Not True dealing with the loss of both children.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry if you've not seen it. And then He's My Boy, is not a. It's she's worried about him growing up and kind of leaving home, and that's what that one's about. So it's a similar kind of feeling, I suppose.
Yeah.
But they're both a great sing. So if you're actually singing them, they are.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Everybody's talking about Jamie very well, but Tell Me It's Not True. You can feel it, can't you?
Yeah,
absolutely.
They're great. Yeah, both of them are great sings. If you do get the opportunity to sing them as a woman of a certain age.
You did about He's My Boy.
I did, in Pleasant Platinum.
Pleasant Platinum, which was our cabaret in 2021? 22. It was 22 for the Jubilee, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. The Platty Jubes, as it were.
Absolutely.
The Platty Jubes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our first show back after COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because we planned to do that was going to be our next thing, wasn't it? A cabaret after Whistle Down the Wind.
Yeah,
and then there was that whole COVID-19 thing.
Something just got in the way. But it was nice to do that actually, because it was a bit of we were able to celebrate 70 years of musicals and do a play as well, or a couple of short plays. So it was nice for everybody to get involved.
Yeah,
with, actually.
I do like that about plays, the cabarets, because it's kind of like that, a good amalgamation of what you were saying before around if you're not into a play. Or if you're not into musicals, if we split them up, then even people who won't be in the singing can do the play stuff. And And we had some in that one. We had like Jim joined us for the for Drinking Buddies. But he didn't do any of the singing.
No. But again, it's all. I think cabarets are good, so that's probably my second favourite.
Okay.
Because you get the chance to do songs you probably wouldn't sing, and it's can't imagine that everybody's talking about Jamie becoming available for amateur production anytime soon.
Yes.
So it's nice to be able to sing a song from a show that you might not get the opportunity to.
Yeah, it's good for that flexibility.
Yeah,
Isn't it? You don't have to get the licenses in the same way,
absolutely.
so it's helpful.
So, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so you kind of alluded to it, and hopefully nobody will be doing any maths. But how long have you been with Wetherby Musical Theatre Group?
I joined in 1987. I'd moved up to England in 1985, and there was some of my friends that I made at school were in the theatre group, and so I went along to see a show that they were putting on. So they were putting The Wiz on, and they were actually performed it at Boston Spa High School. So it was just easy for me to get to across the road from where my mum and dad lived. So I was able to go see that, and I absolutely loved it. And then I joined after that, and it was a really big youth group at the time. And it was not long after that they actually created a separate youth group, although that was a youth production. There was a couple of adults in it, but they actually formed a completely separate youth group. So there was kind of two groups going on at the same time. So it had its own committee and everything like that. So it was good, fun times. So that was why I joined and when I joined. And then the first show that the first show that I auditioned for, they did Grease, and you had to be over 14. So a lot of the kids weren't able to be in it because they were too young. I remember the audition being you had to do a song. You had to do a song from Grease. We were choreographed beforehand. So you had to dance.
Right. Okay.
And you had to dance. It was a pairs dance. So you had to dance. If there was enough, if you were lucky enough to get, you could audition with somebody that you practiced with.
Yeah.
But I think I ended up having to audition with one of the choreographers who was quite a short lady. And I remember thinking, I'm never going to be able to do this. I couldn't dance anyway, to be fair. So I couldn't. So the dance didn't go very well, and then the acting I couldn't do it. I had no idea of any accent other than my own. So I didn't. And I remember them telling us that they marked it out of 10 for each discipline.
Oh right, yeah.
So I think I was told that I did get quite a good score on my singing, but not so good on the other two. So I didn't actually get into Grease. I wasn't even in the chorus.
Oh, right.
So, but then for the kids that were younger and the ones that didn't get into Grease, they put on a cabaret, and that was the first thing I did, which was in kind of early 1988. And then I did a couple of things at school, and then I've kind of been around and about ever since.
Yes,
really.
yes.
So,
Permanent fixture and all
yes,
that?
absolutely. So, so that's kind of what happened when I first joined.
And why did you decide to join?
Well, I think it just looked like so much fun.
Right.
And as I said, there was a lot of people that I knew were part of the group. The Wiz and seeing, they looked like there was, hundreds of kids on stage, all having a really good time. So that was the reason I enjoyed singing. Since I'd moved up to England, I'd not really done any singing. So it was an opportunity for me to do that and go with people my own age and that kind of thing, and just have good fun.
Yeah. And was that the reality then? So you thought it looked fun.
Yeah,
it looked like lots of fun. Was it fun?
Yes, it was. I remember. I actually remember when it was quite nice actually. Cause I joined. I feel like I joined in the September time. So as the school year was starting, and there was a lot of new people there. And obviously there was a load of people that I didn't know, and they weren't rehearsing for anything at that time. So they were doing a lot of kind of trust games and getting to know you kind of things and improvisation, and it was just a really fun time. And everybody just was having a good time. And I think it was apparent that everybody was there because they wanted to be there, not because it wasn't a kind of place where you've got to do something.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to do it, so yeah, it was good fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was hoping the answer was going to be.
No, I've hated every minute.
Yeah. Here I am.
So, no, it's been great.
Oh, good. Yeah. So, What's been your favourite show to be in with the group, with Wetherby Musical Theatre Group?
I'm probably going to say The Addams Family.
Exactly.
And I think that there's loads of reasons for that. It was it was a great show to be in. The songs and the production and everything that I think that we put together was excellent. I think it was well cast. We had a few teething problems, but it all came together. I think the main reason I think is because I got to play Morticia, and my actual daughter played my daughter.
Yes.
And that was just really nice. I've been in shows with her. Her first appearance on stage was when I was pregnant, playing a pregnant duck. So that was quite nice. And then we did the panto, and she'd done a couple of other bits where she was in cabarets with us. But that was just really nice to actually play. I thought it was probably the only time where that opportunity would come up. There's not that many kind of shows. Well, actually, there probably are quite a lot of shows where there's family members, but it just worked out well.
Yeah.
So I think that was my favourite, and I think from a personal perspective, there were things that I got to do in that show, or was asked to do in that show, that I would never have thought I would ever do. For example, being lifted up in one of the dance numbers. When I was first shown that move, this is a joke. No, okay, it's not. Yeah. I think that was probably one of my most favourite shows.
It was fantastic as a show, wasn't it?
Yeah, really
and
enjoyed
Morticia's such a good character.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that amazing wig.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree. It was a fantastic show.
It.
So good choice. But has that been your favourite role then, Morticia, or have you had another role that you preferred?
I think one of my other favourite roles was that was really good fun. That part, there was no kind of sadness in it really as a character. Not to say that it was one dimensional at all, but it was a fun show altogether.
Yeah.
Whereas one of the first, I think one that sticks out for me as well is Carousel, and that was quite some time ago, and 1998 I think that was, and I played Julie Jordan, and I remember thinking I remember the director telling me that I'd kind of got the part because of my acting, and that's because she didn't have that many songs,
right.
And I remember feeling quite pleased with that. That I thought, my acting must be getting better.
Yeah.
At least I was casted and wasn't dismissed at the audition stage. And that was quite an emotional role, because her kind of husband dies basically. So that's again, spoiler alert. Sorry. If you and I think that one sticks in my mind as well as one that taught me a lot from a kind of an acting perspective, I think. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, that's great. I haven't seen Carousel.
I did it again with a different group actually a few years later, and I played the same part. But yeah, it's a good show. It's obviously one of the kind of old fashioned ones but they're all being revived, aren't they? It's been on again recently in the West End, so there's some good songs.
Oh, brilliant. Well, we'll have to check it out at some point. My list is very long, with backlog of things I need to see. So what do you like about being a member of Wetherby Musical Theatre Group?
I think it is that kind of sense of belonging, I suppose. I just, I think for me personally, I do enjoy singing, so that is, a great thing to have the opportunity to do, and it being a little bit freer than it being in a choir. There's more to it than just singing. There's, I haven't been in a choir for a long time, but it just, quite often choirs and choruses can be quite static, and maybe do sometimes more serious songs, which are great and are lovely to listen to. But I think that's what I enjoy, just the opportunity to do a bit more than just singing. And the group is just really, really friendly. I've got obviously been there a long time, there's a lot of people that I've known for a very long time, and it's just nice to be there with those people still.
No,
So,
that's nice. Yeah.
And new members have come along as well. And I think I genuinely think it does feel like your kind of second family, really. So yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Do you have any funny or favourite memories of being with the group?
So I think just thinking back to Carousel, actually, there was the scene where Billy Bigelow dies. Julie Jordan comes on stage and he's dying, and there's a bit of a scene where she's talking to him, and then there's another character that comes in, and she'd obviously had a thing for Billy prior to this, and so that Julie's aware of this and doesn't want her really to be anywhere near us. It's a bit of a a standoff as well, but Billy is dying / dead, and so that character comes on stage. So in this Saturday matinee, as we performed it in Wetherby, that character didn't appear on stage, and I was like, oh. So I kind of had to just say my next line, even though it didn't quite make sense, just kind of move it forward, otherwise it was, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, it transpires, because my mum was in the chorus, and what had happened was the lady playing that part had said to my mum, my mum had said, I'm going to go round to the back because I want to watch this from the back. So she wasn't meant to do that. She was meant to be on stage as part of the chorus, but she wanted to watch me from the back, from the audience perspective. So the lady playing, who was a friend of my mum's, playing that part, said, I'll come with you.
Oh, no.
So they were both stood at the back, and that's why she didn't deliver her line, because she was stood at the back, and she was only when she was there and realised that she was meant to be delivering that line.
Oh, God.
So that was quite funny. And we always had quite a few kind of matinee things where sometimes the stage crew might have a little joke with you, and various things like putting silly messages inside a book if you had a book to read, and that kind of thing. And so they're just daft things like that, I suppose. And also going back, there was always just amazing after show parties.
Oh yeah.
Which we don't have anymore, because we don't have the premises like we used to. Because at the time we had premises, the rehearsal premises were basically ours. So we could just stay there till whenever. Whereas now we're kind of restricted by, we have to be out by a certain time, or we're in a pub and again have to be out by a certain time, and there's other people there. But yeah, there's been some big kind of parties with dancing and drinking and singing and staying there till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah,
we don't have that. We can't do that.
No.
Can't do that at the primary school, can we?
No, can't. So yeah,
brilliant.
Some good times.
Sounds great. What would you say to someone who might be thinking about getting into amateur theatre?
I would say definitely do it, because I think it really builds your confidence. I think with when I've seen young people being involved in my own daughter and that kind of thing, it really does bring you out of yourself. It's a confidence builder, but it's just so much fun. It's just great fun. There's people, everybody's there for the same reason, and therefore, you get on with people. So yeah, it's just great fun. So just do it.
No, that's great advice.
Yeah,
I agree. It was a big thing for when I was at a stage school. When I was 11, I used to be this kind of shy, introverted kid, and then started doing stage school, and I was like, that's it.
Yeah,
just become much more of a. It's had so much more fun and more confident, and
absolutely.
Yeah,
and I think there's been people that have joined over the years that have had maybe some difficulties with social interaction, or with kind of what am I trying to say? Balance, kind of, and all those kind of things. That kind of activity really helps. Kind of, if you think, well, I can't move, I can't dance, but actually, you just being in that situation, and you learn to kind of control your limbs or whatever in a way that's you might not ever be the best dancer or whatever, but it just gives you an opportunity, I think, to expand what you think you can do.
Yeah, so, and like you say, even after you've been there for years, you're doing things that you don't think you would ever do. Like you're saying about Morticia and being the Addams Family, and that was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and you're doing things that you never thought you'd be doing on stage.
Absolutely.
Stuff like that. So there's always something new to be doing, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Which is always good.
Yeah.
And new people bring in different ideas, perspectives.
Yeah, and that's it. I think, just having different directors, different choreographers, and having different people in the cast is just a different dynamic, and it just brings the different things out in the group. So it's just always good to have different people playing different parts and new people joining. And
I think that's what we really we noticed about the Addams Family, didn't we?
Yeah.
There was so many, quite a lot of new members.
Yeah.
And some former members who we'd not seen for a while.
Yes.
And that combination, the energy it brought, and everybody was just kind of really vibing off each other. And it really got into it.
Yeah, it was really good fun, to be fair.
Yeah, it was super good.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you know, it's our 50th this year as a group. 50 years. Started in 1975. So we've got quite a few activities on. We're doing 3 performances.
Yep.
So we've got Breezebot Park, the play, which is 30th of April till the 3rd of May.
Yep.
Then we're doing a performance at the Wetherby Bandstand.
Yep.
Of musical numbers, which you are helping develop the programme for with our wonderful Phoebe.
Yes.
And then we've got the big musical at the end of the year, Guys and Dolls.
Yeah.
At the Engine Shed, 28th of October to the 31st of October. Of those, and anything else we're doing, I suppose, in the year, 'cause we've got lots of social stuff as well. What are you looking forward to the most? I feel like I know the answer.
Yeah. I mean, I think, to be honest, I am not in Breezebot Park, and that was kind of a considered decision not to audition. But I'm looking forward to seeing that. It's nice to just be an audience member sometimes, or help out in whatever way I can. I'm actually really looking forward to the bandstand, because that would be nice to be in an outdoor environment. I can't recall us ever doing that before.
Wow.
I don't think we have. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be somebody listening to this thinking, oh yeah, we did so and so, but off the top of my head, I can't think of an outdoor event that we have done like that. But then Guys and Dolls, just the fact of being in a different space as well, it feels just really exciting to be doing it somewhere else, in a different stage setting, doing it in the round rather than kind of on a flat stage. It just feels really exciting and different, and I think that's again one of the great things about being in the group, that there's always something new, something you've not experienced, and so I think that probably is the thing I'm looking forward to most.
Yeah, well, not long till auditions.
I know. Yeah, I need to dig out my accent book.
Yeah,
start watching The Sopranos.
That New York going on. Okay, and so we've come pretty much to the end.
Yeah.
But before we go, I want to ask what your favourite line from a show is. Whether it's a line from a song or a spoken line, whatever it might be. Do you have one? And I'm putting you on the spot there.
Yeah, there's. I think there was, considering I've said I haven't been, I normally don't do the plays. There was a line in when we did Calendar Girls. There was a line in that, and I think the more I delivered it, the more poignant it felt. And when we did Calendar Girls, I played an older character. And it was a piece about, it was kind of a big speech, and it's a piece about as you get older that you have less to fill your days with, so you kind of, or you make, you kind of end up being, if there's only small things that happen, you make them into a big thing, and so you don't have, and the end of the line was, and the saddest thing on God's earth is the people with the fewest hours left. Making, I'm gonna have to. I need to actually look it up, because I feel like, I'm really sorry, but it really was. Yeah. I did feel like it was really poignant, and obviously I can't remember it.
No, we did this in February 23, so it's long enough now that it's 2 years.
I'm allowed to not remember all the lines
of everything you've ever been in.
Of everything I've been in, exactly.
Quick, give your line from Hop now.
There we go. The saddest thing on God's earth is those with the fewest hours left, allowing less and less to fill more and more. And it just felt really poignant. And so I'm kind of determined that I will try and fill every hour with as much as I can.
Yes.
So that was that, and as I say, the more I delivered that line, the more kind of poignant it felt. But then the other thing then is that it's not a show that we've done. It's not a song that I will ever sing because it's a man song, but there's just 4 words that sometimes I'll be in a conversation at work maybe, or in a meeting environment, or maybe just even on public transport, and the words, it's a song in Hamilton, and the 4 words are talk less, smile more. And that, I think, sometimes I really want to be able to just say that to somebody. But actually, it's quite a nice thing to say. Just talk less and smile more.
Perfect, yes.
There you go.
Well, with that, we'll close up this full half hour or odd plus of talking.
Yeah. Yes. Just smile.
And just smile. So thank you very much, Cath. It's been a pleasure to chat with you, and looking forward to lots of exciting things this year for our 50th anniversary.
Yes, absolutely.
So thank you very much for listening. Encourage you all to buy tickets, come to shows, and obviously the bandstand is free, so we hope to see you there. Hopefully it will be sunny and not raining.
Yeah.
But we'll hope to see you there in your deck chairs anyway.
And come and join.
And absolutely. Come join the group. We're always looking for new members. Guys and dolls, now's the perfect opportunity to join, because we're auditioning, but if you don't want to be in one of the principal members, you can still be in the chorus.
Yep.
There's no auditioning for the chorus, or if you want to help out backstage, front of house, we're always looking for new members, so absolutely. Come and join us. Drop us a message on Facebook, or you can send us an email. All the details will be on the video, or
excellent.
In the descriptions. We're not gonna chapter and verse it at you.
No.
But thank you very much for listening. Stay tuned for more episodes. This has been front of house, or on stage,
backstage,
or behind the curtain, or behind the mask, whichever name we pick. This has been with Wetherby Musical Theatre Group for our 50th anniversary.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.